Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hidden Korea. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on a story that has been whispered about, speculated over, and hidden behind layers of secrecy for years. Prepare yourselves, because what we're about to uncover is nothing short of explosive. Long 2026 Exposed. A journey into the shadows of his private world, the secret wife no one expected. The family drama buried deep beneath fame. Lavish empire he built far from the public eye. Who is the real Long? The truth lies behind the rumors, the wealth, the controversies that never stop swirling around him. Tonight, we trace the steps of a man surrounded by mystery, power, and a life far more dramatic than any role he's ever played. So sit back, lean in, and get ready. Because we're diving into the truth right now. The legend of Long has always been wrapped in shimmering lights and carefully constructed perfection. To the world, he appeared invincible, an international star with a sculpted image, an untouchable aura, and a life so luxurious it bordered on fantasy. But beneath the flawless facades and meticulously edited interviews lay a truth far more chaotic, far more human, and far more dangerous than anyone ever imagined. It all began with a leak. A single anonymous message posted at dawn on a small but notoriously accurate industry forum. The post contained no photos, no proof, just one chilling line. Long has a wife. And she's been hidden for years. The industry dismissed it as gossip. Fans rolled their eyes. But within hours, a second post appeared, this time with a blurred image of a woman wearing a simple white ring on her finger, standing beside a man whose silhouette unmistakably belonged to Long. The internet detonated. Major media outlets scrambled to verify the authenticity while fans demanded answers with increasing desperation. But this revelation was only the beginning. Reporters digging through the star's past began uncovering a trail of inconsistencies, periods of unexplained disappearance, sudden changes in his public schedule, and cryptic interviews where Long dodged personal questions with uncharacteristic tension. The deeper they dug, the clearer it became, the man the world worshipped had built his life on secrets. At the center of the chaos was the identity of the mysterious wife. Some sources claimed she was a childhood friend. Others insisted she was a wealthy heiress. Whispered that she was neither, that she was someone the world was never meant to recognize. Someone tied to a family feud so dangerous that Long had no choice but to keep her hidden. Meanwhile, Long remained silent. Completely silent. Not a single statement from his team. Not even a vague denial. His social media accounts froze. His public appearances were cancelled. And his bodyguards were seen escorting him through service entrances. Like a man running from a storm he could no longer control. Then came the second leak. A security camera clip from a private residential building surfaced, showing Long entering a penthouse late at night, followed by the same woman from the blurred image. Though grainy, the footage captured something unmistakable, the way he reached back to hold the door for her. His posture softening. Shoulders dropping with a familiarity that could never be faked. He wasn't acting. He wasn't hiding. He was simply himself. The clip went viral in minutes. Fans cried betrayal. Critics demanded explanations. Industry insiders whispered that Long's empire, built on global endorsements, blockbuster films, and a carefully protected public persona, was on the brink of collapse. Brands paused their campaigns. Executives questioned contracts. His management team allegedly fractured under pressure, arguing about whether to come clean or bury the truth deeper. But the real shock came when an anonymous insider leaked documents revealing a long-standing conflict within Long's family, an inheritance battle that had torn relatives apart and forced Long into a role he never wanted, protector. The hidden wife, it turned out, wasn't hidden out of shame. She was hidden out of survival. The feud spanned years. Money, power, legacy, all tangled like a web around Long's quiet personal life. Rumors claimed his wife had been targeted, threatened, used as leverage in a battle for control over the family's massive business empire. To keep her safe, Long built an entire parallel life, separate residences, separate schedules, separate identities. A man living two lives at once, always watching, always afraid the world would shatter the fragile balance he fought to protect. Yet something had gone wrong. Someone close to the family had begun leaking information piece by piece, pushing Long toward exposure at a moment when he least expected it. And as the internet's fury swelled, Long was left with only two choices: Come forward with the truth and risk everything. Or continue running from a secret that was already catching up to him. The world held its breath. Because the next move Yulong made would not only define his career. It would unravel the truth behind a story far bigger, far darker, and far more heartbreaking than anyone knew. The storm surrounding Yulong showed no signs of slowing. By the third day, the world had split into factions, those demanding the truth, those defending him blindly, those convinced an even darker secret lurked beneath the surface. Every hour brought a new rumor, a new leak, a new spark that reignited the wildfire burning through his reputation. Then, without warning, a third leak struck. This time, it wasn't a blurry photo and a grainy video. It was a voice recording. Heated argument between Yulong and an unidentified older man, believed to be a powerful figure within the Long family. The recording was muffled but unmistakably real. The man's voice boomed with rage. "She is a weakness. As long as she exists, you will never have control. End this now." And Yulong's reply, shaken, furious, trembling with something between fear and defiance. "I won't sacrifice her for your empire." The audio sent shockwaves across the internet. Suddenly, the narrative flipped. What had looked like deception began to resemble a tragic love story. A man struggling against a family determined to erase the woman he loved. Sympathy surged. But so did curiosity. Why was she so dangerous to the family's empire? And why had Yulong kept quiet for so long? The pressure mounted until it reached a breaking point. Fourth night, Yulong was cornered outside his private residence by a swarm of reporters. Cameras flashed like lightning. Phones jabbed toward him like weapons. He looked exhausted, dark circles under his eyes, shoulders slumped. The polished actor persona shattered into raw vulnerability. A reporter shouted above the chaos, "Yulong, is it true? Do you have a wife?" A hush fell over the crowd. For the first time, Yulong didn't look away. He inhaled deeply, the cold night air trembling against his breath. His voice, when it came, was low, but unshakably resolute. "Yes." Gasps erupted. Cameras exploded in a frenzy. Reporters surged forward in disbelief. Yulong continued, each word cutting through the chaos like a blade. "She is my wife. And she is the person I cherish most in this world." But before the crowd could react, he added something that sent a violent ripple through the industry. She was never the secret. The danger was silence. And then a roar louder than before. Yulong's car whisked him away. But the damage, and the revelation, was irreversible. His confession ignited a storm so powerful it shook the foundations of his family's empire. Stocks plummeted. Board members demanded emergency meetings. Enemies resurfaced. The Long family's internal war burst into the public eye with explosive force. Yet amid the chaos, fans noticed something strange. Yulong's wife still hadn't appeared. No photos. No statements. Not a single glimpse. As if she lived behind a curtain no one could reach. The final twist was still yet to come. On the fifth night, an anonymous source, believed to be someone inside the Long household, released a sealed court document. It detailed a private settlement signed years earlier, stating that Yulong's wife had been targeted multiple times by individuals seeking to manipulate the Long fortune. The document revealed threats, financial traps, even a near-fatal accident that forced Yulong to move her into private, secured residence under an assumed identity. Internet erupted. Suddenly, the story shifted again, not scandal, but survival. Not deception, but protection. Saw Yulong not as a liar, but as a man fighting a silent war to keep his loved one alive. As sympathy grew, Yulong finally reappeared on social media, posting a single message. "Thank you for your patience. When the time is right, we will speak together." The post reached 20 million likes in 6 hours. Behind the scenes, the Long family was in ruins. Lines were drawn. Betrayals exposed. The person who leaked the secrets was still unknown, still dangerous, still watching. And Yulong, for the first time in years, stood unshielded, yet strangely stronger. Because now, the world knew the truth. He wasn't the villain. He wasn't the deceiver. He was the man who refused to surrender the woman he loved. The empire might fall. The scandals might bloom. The war might rage for years. But Yulong's choice was made. And the world would never see him the same way again. In the aftermath of the revelations, The world seemed to slow, but only for a moment. Long's confession had torn through the entertainment industry, the business world, and the media landscape like a shockwave that refused to settle. Overnight, headlines transformed from scandal to sympathy, accusation to awe. And yet, for Yu Long himself, the real battle was still ahead. Behind the towering walls of his private estate, Yu Long stood alone at the edge of a dimly lit balcony. City glowing beneath him like a restless ocean. His phone buzzed non-stop, offers withdrawn, contracts frozen. Board members demanding explanations. Journalists begging for exclusive interviews. But he ignored them all. None of it mattered anymore. The mask had fallen. The lie had ended. The world finally knew the truth. A soft footstep sounded behind him. And there she was. The woman the world had tried to uncover for days. Now standing quietly in the doorway. Her expression a mix of fatigue, fear, and unwavering strength. She approached slowly. Presence gentle yet anchoring in a way no headline or rumor could ever capture. "You shouldn't have done that," she whispered. "They'll come after you now." "They already have," he replied softly. I stayed silent. "They would have come after you forever." Looked up at him. Her eyes shimmering with something deeper than gratitude, something like heartbreak mixed with fierce resolve. "You risked everything." His voice trembled for the first time. "Do it again." For a long, quiet moment, they simply stood together. The weight of years of secrecy settling between them like a storm finally allowed to break. And then, slowly, she reached for his hand. He didn't hide it. He didn't pull away. He let the world see what was never meant to be hidden, a love stronger than fear, stronger than power, stronger than the empire that had tried to destroy it. Outside the gate, distant shouts echoed, fans, reporters, supporters. They were still waiting, still watching, still hungry for answers. She tightened her grip. "Are we ready?" He nodded once, steady and unshaken. Together. And with that, they stepped forward. The shadows where they had lived for years. But into the light, the unforgiving, unfiltered, blinding light of truth. Whatever the future held. Whatever wars his family would wage. Whatever the world tried to twist. Yu Long was no longer hiding. He had chosen love over legacy. He had chosen truth over safety. Doing so, he rewrote the ending of a story no one thought he would dare to tell. As they walked hand in hand toward the waiting world, cameras began flashing, capturing the moment that would become one of the most iconic in modern celebrity history. Scandal. Not drama. But triumph, quiet, defiant, and undeniably human. Empire might tremble. The future might be uncertain. But Yu Long finally stepped into his own story. This time, he wasn't alone. Thank you for joining us on this gripping, emotional, unforgettable journey into the hidden world of Yu Long. Curiosity, your passion, and your energy are what inspire us to uncover the stories behind the spotlight. Stay tuned, because in the world of hidden Korea, every truth has a deeper layer. Every life hides a secret. And every secret is waiting for someone brave enough to reveal it. In the next explosive story. With gratitude. Hidden Korea.